thought I would talk about Oprah's episode on going no contact with your parents, or no contact parents and children, while I get ready because I have thoughts. So, first of all, using the word trend in the title is very intentional because I forget what it's called. That's not syntax, but it's like the emotional or like cultural meaning of a word is different than the actual definition. So like when I think of trend, I'm thinking of like, oh, an increase in something. But I feel like when most people think of trend, they're thinking of something that multiple people are doing more and more because they want to do it. And because it's like, usually when we're using the word trend, we're using it in connotation of a good thing or something that people want to do. And I think I really understand that's why most people were like, what the fuck? This is not a trend. But it is a trend in the sense that more people are doing it, but most people's first choice is never to just go no contact. That's almost never how it goes. Especially if you're being guided by a therapist to go no contact. Usually they're going to offer many more solutions before going no contact. And usually, like, if you're a child who goes no contact from a parent, you probably actually come from an environment where that is extremely taboo and frowned upon. It's interesting that there's that dichotomy, but it makes sense because I saw a therapist saying that the no contact stuff started with children who grew up with addict parents, alcoholic parents, which actually make sense to me because of, a lot of addict parents, the children have to become adults. They become extremely parentified and feel like they grow up way too early. And so then that actually stunts your growth in the long term because you're like missing major like emotional like markers because you're having to be an adult when you should be a child and behaving like a child. Okay, so some of the things like on there's something called the Adult Children of Alcoholics and Dysfunctional Families, and they have a questionnaire. It's am I an adult child? We become isolated and afraid of people and authority figures. We become approval seekers and lose our identity in the process. We are frightened by angry people and criticism. We live life from the viewpoint of victims, and we are attached by that weakness in our love and friendship relationships. We have an overdeveloped sense of responsibility. It can be easier for us to be concerned with others than ourselves. We get guilt feelings when we stand up for ourselves instead of giving in to others. We tend to confuse love and pity and tend to love people we can pity and rescue. We have stuffed our feelings from our traumatic childhoods and have lost the ability to feel or express our feelings because it hurts so much. Denial. We judge ourselves harshly and have very low self-esteem. We are dependable personalities who are terrified of abandonment and will do anything to hold on to a relationship in order to not experience painful abandonment feelings, which we received from living with sick people who are never there emotionally for us. And so even though this is a questionnaire directed at children who have addict parents, I still related to everything in here except this certain parts. But yeah, it makes sense to me that this movement came from children who grew up with addict parents. And I saw another person make the point that like there was no contact happening before this. It's just like there was no label for it. It was just like before people had phones and like social media and you could reach people in like 2 seconds. People would just like move across the country or even like just like across the state or across the town, and then, like, you only have to see your family a couple times a year or as much as you want to, or, yeah, sorry, can't make it, can't fly in. Like, low contact and no contact was happening before this, guys. We just didn't have a name for it. But the reason why I included the questions that were on the questionnaire is because I feel like those childhood experiences are what usually leads people to going no contact. Usually the parents are both neglectful and abusive at the same time. So they're admitting and administering. Is that the right word? Like, they're giving abuse, and then they're also, like, withholding to be abusive as well.